Hey everyone, thank you for joining my webinar where I will share a few of my pointers about how to protect your loved ones against financial stress, especially during this pandemic crisis. Just a reminder that this webinar is merely pointers which may not be applicable to everyone, so please make sure to do your due diligence if these pointers apply to you. Before I begin, I want to stress that this webinar is very much suitable for current insurance policy owners who are not satisfied with their current insurance policies, or agents, or perhaps is considering to review their insurance policy. Or if you are an individual with no insurance policy and would like to know more how insurance could protect you and your loved ones financially. For employees out there that has their income affected during this crisis and are burdened by their existing insurance policy and would like to know more how to ensure their insurance policy is not terminated due to no payment. And if you are a company director, you may want to find a way to protect the key man in the company from potential loss, especially during the crisis today. What will we learn in these webinars? Number one, why is insurance important to you and your loved ones? Number two, which insurance policy is suitable for you? Number three, are you getting sufficient protection? And number four, what to do if your income is affected? I would like you to imagine this. What if you are able to avoid spending extra money out from your savings because the system will help you get back to your initial financial status before the loss? Or what if you could stop having to worry about potential huge financial stress because you now have a big pool of emergency fund to help you out? How about if you could get access to better and effective protection where you now have more choices to the kind of protection? Finally, having a comforting peace of mind because you and your loved ones will be well taken care of financially. As advertised, I will show you how to get my free ebook at the end of the webinar, so make sure you stick to the end. A brief introduction about myself, about how I started this insurance journey. I was once like everyone out there, perhaps you as well. My insurance friends tried selling me insurance during my college time, but I did not buy due to the lack of understanding about why would I need to pay a sum of money for things I do not own. You see, what my insurance friend did was what a typical salesman do. They sell on the product feature and that did not win my attention. When you are selling at something, people will know that you are thinking to benefit from the sales first before thinking about the reason why would your customer pay for it. However, I am interested to learn more about insurance because I may not know the reason why would I need insurance back then, but I do know the reason why I could not live without insurance. Hence, I decided to venture into the insurance industry since 2005 and I never looked back. To date, I have managed hundreds of insurance portfolios where my focus is to help my clients to maximize their benefits without spending too much on the unnecessaries. I am Will, and I am the author of the book Insuring Your Tomorrow, Know Your Insurance Industry. And during my time of not servicing my insurance clients, I help business owners in their marketing planning and execution as a marketing consultant. I am also an investor and a serial entrepreneur. You may have asked or being asked before about why is insurance important to you and your loved ones. There are hundreds of reasons why would an individual would buy an insurance, but I only have three main answers which I survey among my clients. It is to protect you, to protect your income, and to protect your family. The insurance protects your family by leaving them a non-taxable amount at the end of the time of death if you own a life insurance. It is also used to cover your mortgage or your personal loans, such as your car loan and housing loan, because you know that you still need to pay off those loans even after you are gone. Your insurance follows you when you retire and when you are no longer insured by your employer, especially when you are met with a permanent disability. Therefore, do not rely on your company's insurance alone. The insurance will also replace your family income when resources are less so they can maintain their quality of life. Allow me to share with you one of my clients' case studies. Miss A is not the real name, but the case is real. Miss A is a former neighbor of mine based in Kuala Lumpur, and their family taught her not to trust insurance due to they claim insurance company only steals the people's money. I do not know what happened exactly between her parents and their insurance agents that they have this kind of mindset, but after talking to her parents, I roughly know that their agent never tell the whole point of buying an insurance back then. As a typical salesman, that insurance agent was asking Miss A's parents to buy an insurance policy, but there are some things the insurance agent did not disclose in the agreement upon payment. Long story short, Miss A's father was a diabetic patient, but he has gotten better, however, is still on medication. This was not revealed, and unfortunately, he was admitted to the hospital within a year of purchasing the new policy, and his bill was around 30,000 ringgit at that time. However, he could not claim it because his insurance company claims that he did not reveal in the agreement, hence, he has to pay the 30,000 ringgit with his own money. You are under a duty to disclose relevant information when you buy a new policy or when you renew it. If you did not provide accurate or comprehensive information, your insurer may be able to reject your claim. There are two ways that you are required to disclose your information. One is when the insurer asks you a specific questions, or two, when you find out something you know or a reasonable person in your position could be expected to know. It's a matter which could be relevant to the insurer's decisions to accept the policy. For example, if you know you have a high blood pressure history, but the insurance agent did not ask, you must tell them. However, there are things that you are not required to disclose. One will be something that you do not know. Two will be something that is common knowledge that your insurer knows or ought to know. Or three, if your insurer has waived your need to comply. So do your own due diligence to know more or ensure your agent knows more than you before buying that policy from the agent. Today, I always ensure my prospect know about their disclosure. There are hundreds of insurance policies out there for you to choose because the difference are the methods they are covering. Do you need to know all? No. It is the insurance agent's responsibility to inform you which is best suited for you. I have been selling four types of insurance only throughout my 10 years in the industry. You have life insurance, which the insurance company will pay out a sum of money to your family once you are deceased. Then there are critical illness, which covers the 36 illness such as cancer, stroke, heart attack, and so on. But do check with your insurance agent if it is increased because the common coverage is increased to 45 illness today. Next, you have the total permanent disability coverage, means that because of a sickness or injury, the person is unable to work in their own or any occupation for which they are suited by training, education, or experience. And the most popular coverage is the medical card. It basically means that if you have this coverage, your medical bills will be covered when you are admitted to the hospital, not limiting to the room and board bills, medical bills, surgery bills, and so on. However, check with your insurance agents on the specifics. These are the four coverages which I believe is the basics coverage needed if you are a working adult in order to release yourself from financial stress when needed. However, I always stress to my clients that they need at least the medical card if they have a financial constraints currently, because you need to pay every time you enter a hospital, but the rest are more like a need only when you are met with the unfortunates. If you have any queries about which insurance policy you need, do message me and I will work out a plan for you with no charge. Allow me to share with you another case studies of my client. Mr. B is not a real name, but a real case study. Mr. B is an electrician and he owns a life insurance which his mother bought for him when he was young. Today he is around 45 years old when I approached him. He knew the importance of an insurance, which is why he is still paying the insurance premium up to date. However, when I asked him why don't he buy the medical card coverage, he said that one, he does not know the difference, and two, he thinks life insurance will be sufficient. What he does not know is that his life insurance is only as useful to his family when he is deceased because an insurance company pays his family a sum of money, and that money probably able to cover his funeral and other miscellaneous costs. What he does not know is that if he is still living but has to be hospitalized due to a certain sickness such as cancer, no one will be able to pay for his hospitalization expenses by then, and he will need to spend a sum of money just to aid his sickness. In the end, he managed to maintain his life insurance and he also managed to buy a medical card to even out his needs. Unfortunately, 2 years later, he was met with an accident and have a major surgery on his leg. Because he bought the medical card, he told me that he is glad that he do not need to fork out the medical bills should I have not convinced him to buy the medical card. Do you know if you are getting sufficient protection? Financial experts often recommend purchasing 10 to 15 times your annual income in coverage. though your personal number may be higher or lower. My benchmark to my clients is that if their monthly salary is 5,000 or 60,000 annually, they need to have at least 600,000 of life and disability coverage, because if they are suddenly bedridden, the amount is able to cover to another 10 years until they or their family are able to find other source of income. It is an assurance for those who bought the life insurance. As I mentioned earlier, I always suggest my clients to have at least the medical card coverage in order to avoid spending extra money out of their savings. They would also need to own a life insurance to have a peace of mind, because they would never want their loved one to be worried about how to move on once he or she left the family. If my clients are an employee or even an employer, they would need to have disability coverage too, to prevent them from having to worry about potential huge financial stress when they lost the ability to earn income. To complete their full protection, they would need the critical illness protection in order to have a safety net in case they are diagnosed with something terrible and have to undergo a lot of medication and treatment. Allow me to share another case study about Miss C, who is my former employer. Obviously, Miss C is not the real name, but her case study is real. Miss C bought her insurance policy almost 20 years ago, and initially Miss C do not wish to renew her insurance policy because she told me that she has been paying for so many years and do not wish to buy any more insurance policy. After I convinced her that today's medical bills are much higher than 20 years ago, she decided to have me review for her. Upon review, her medical coverage was only 70,000 annual limit with 700,000 lifetime limit. With the medical bills increasing annually, it is no longer sufficient to have only 70,000 ringgit, because a stroke treatment averagely costs around 75,000 ringgit per treatment alone. After much research, she decided to top up her insurance policy. However, I advised her that she could buy a new insurance policy that is specifically catered for her needs, rather than adding premiums into an insurance policy which may not be necessary for her. For example, she has a high premium of personal accident coverage in her previous insurance policy, but she is in an admin work, and for that reason, she has no need to top up her accident coverage. Remember, you do not need to have insurance for everything, just the things that could set back your financial situation or your financial goal. With the recent pandemic crisis, everyone is affected, no matter if you are an employee or an employer. Did you know that the number of my clients grew, especially during the pandemic? Not because they are rich, but because they need to protect themselves at the time they are still capable in contributing. However, I also have clients who told me that they need to surrender their policy due to they have just lost their job and do not seem to have enough to move forward. I understand their situation because my other business was also affected, but I believe an insurance policy will be your safety net, and there are ways that you can overcome this. One of it is a premium holiday or policy restructuring. Talk to your agent if they are still active and ask them how to work around this, because unless really necessary, I do not recommend surrendering your insurance policy if you believe it will be your last gift to your loved ones when needed. If you are curious, do book a session with me for a free policy review, and I will see how I can assist you in your concerns of your insurance policies. Allow me to share with you another case study about Mr. D. Again, the name is not real, but the case study is real. Mr. D was from the hotel industry, and I know him when I used to serve him as a supplier many years ago. Once the pandemic started early last year, he was let go due to the hotel has to close down, and he does not receive any compensation after negotiations. He was in the midst of finding jobs when I called him in the middle of 2020, and we have a long chat. Among the topic is his insurance policies, which he bought for him and his wife, but due to the high commitment of the insurance policies, he is asking me how much he could get should he surrender the policies. Although his policy has some cash value, I managed to restructure his policy to be more affordable, but he was still worried that he may not be able to continue the payment if he is still unable to find a new job soon. I offered him a temporary position in my marketing agency, and although I am unable to pay him a high salary, his commitment was reduced and he has income coming from that month onwards. Today, he found a new job in a factory as a manager, and he is now able to be relieved because he is now able to maintain his insurance premium. As a reminder that if any of you or anyone you may know that may face with financial difficulties, please do not surrender your insurance policy, especially when you are still believing that an insurance is a must. Talk to your existing agent to see if they can help you. Else, do book a free session with me to see if I am able to review your policy. A quick recap of my sharing session today. I hope you are able to get some pointers about why insurance is important to you and your loved ones. You are able to know which insurance policy is suitable for you. And if you already have insurance coverages, see if you are getting sufficient protection. Lastly, you should know what to do next if your income is affected. Book a call with me or simply message me in my Facebook so I can try my best to see how I can assist you. Please let me know if you get any value from today's sharing sessions. Appreciate if you could drop me a message in my Facebook and tell me what you like the most out of the whole session and if you need any assistance in reviewing your insurance policy. Let me know by booking a free session with me through the Calendly link below. We should be able to talk through Zoom while I email you the link. Once you book an appointment, I will also email you the free ebook. So please ensure your details are keyed in correctly. This ebook is a valuable book because it has my 10 years of experience in managing all sorts of clients and how I assist each of these clients. Allow me to share a quote if you are still sitting on the fence of buying an insurance policy or still think that your 10 years old insurance policy is still valid today. Buying an insurance is like fixing a leak in your roof. The longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. For your info, my insurance policy was reviewed every 5 years because inflation rises annually, and what you think is worth 5 years ago may be undervalued today. A policy review costs nothing except a phone call to your insurance agents. If your agent is no longer in contact, then not you book a call with me. Thank you so much for viewing my sharing sessions, and if you have any further inquiries, I can be contacted as above. And